guys. I had so much fun talking to you on Zoom today. I hope we can do a lot more of that in the next couple of weeks. I wanted to try posting our first video of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So I have our bookmark where we left off, and I'm gonna see, I know it's been a couple of weeks, but I'm gonna see if you remember where we left off. So the beavers were with the three children and they were hiding out. Who are they hiding from? Do you remember? From the White Witch. And they heard a sound. What was that sound that they heard? They heard sleigh bells, and they were scared because they thought it might be the White Witch, but who was it actually? Do you remember? It was Santa. That's right, Father Christmas. And he came and he brought them all gifts. And that is where we left off. They are going to continue on to the stone table. So our next chapter is chapter 11, and it's called Aslan is Nearer. Edmund, meanwhile, had been having a most disappointing time. Remember, we're switching back to Edmund now, and where is he? He's in the sleigh with the White Witch. So he had been having a most disappointing time. When the dwarf had gone to get the sleigh ready, he expected that the witch would start being nice to him, as she had been at their last meeting. But she said nothing at all. And when at last Edmund plucked up his courage to say, "Please, your majesty, could I have some Turkish delight?" You said," she answered, "Silence, fool." Then she appeared to change her mind and said, as if to herself, "And yet it will not do to have the brat fainting on the way," and once more clapped her hands. Another dwarf appeared. "Bring the human creature food and drink," she said. The dwarf went away and presently returned bringing an iron bowl with some water in it and an iron plate with a hunk of dry bread on it. He grinned in a repulsive manner as he set them down on the floor beside Edmund and said, "Turkish delight for the little prince, ha ha." "Take it away," said Edmund sulkily. "I don't want dry bread." But the witch suddenly turned on him with such a terrible expression on her face that he apologized and began to nibble at the bread, though it was so stale he could hardly get it down. "You may be glad enough of it before you taste bread again," said the witch. And we have a picture. So there's Edmund, and there is the dwarf bringing him the dry, stale bread, and bread gets stale when it's really, really old and it's hard and it's not soft and chewy anymore. And so that's what the witch is making him eat. When really, what did he want? Turkish delight. While he was still chewing away, the first dwarf came back and announced that the sleigh was ready. The White Witch rose and went out, ordering Edmund to go with her. The snow was again falling as they came into the courtyard, but she took no notice of that and made Edmund sit beside her on the sleigh. But before they drove off, she called Maugrim, and he came bounding like an enormous dog to the side of the sleigh. Do you remember who Maugrim is? He's that big wolf that Edmund saw at the White Witch's house. He's the chief of her secret police, the one that arrested Mr. Tumnus. "Take with you the swiftest of your wolves and go at once to the house of the beavers," said the witch, "and kill whatever you find there. If they are already gone, then make all speed to the stone table, but do not be seen. Wait for me there in hiding. I, meanwhile, must go many miles to the west before I find a place where I could drive across the river. You may overtake these humans before they reach the stone table. You will know what to do if you find them." "I hear and obey, O queen," growled the wolf, and immediately he shot away into the snow and darkness as quickly as a horse can gallop. In a few minutes he had called another wolf and was with him down on the dam and sniffing at the beaver's house. But of course, they found it empty. It would have been a dreadful thing for the beavers and the children if the night had remained fine, for the wolves would have been able to follow their trail, and 10 to 1 would have overtaken them before they had gotten to the cave. But now that the snow had begun again, the scent was cold, and even the footprints were covered up. All right, friends, we will stop there for today, and I will record another video tomorrow and post it so that we can continue on with our story. I will see you tomorrow.